Hi, this is Peter Sage, creator of the Millionaire Business School and Amazon best-selling author. And on this video, I want to have a slight change of track because I get asked a lot of questions from people talking about, on the metaphysical side, how do you raise your own frequency and vibration, your own personal energetic vibration? Because if we're able to do that, there's a lot of other things that can fall into place or go in our favor. Now, again, I'm not getting too sort of new age out there. This is all based on science. So I want to give you some practical steps to engage with, three things that can help raise your frequency and vibration, and then you're free to go out and test it and make your own conclusions as to what that means for you. But before we start, let's just talk about frequency and vibration, again, at a scientific level, because everything in the physical world and the non-physical world vibrates at a frequency. If we look at it through the eyes of particle physics, everything in the quantum world exists either as a particle or as a wave, and that particle is collapsed from a wave into a particle that then vibrates at a certain frequency. Now, I don't want to get too into heavy science on this particular video, but for purposes of raising our own frequency, we need to understand what frequency is. Everything in life operates at a frequency that resonates at a frequency. Whether it's a light wave, a sound wave, a microwave, a radio wave, everything is a wave. Every wave has a frequency. If you were to look at something solid, even a piece of stone or iron, and you were to look at it through the eyes of a physicist, you wouldn't see it as a solid piece of matter. If you were to look at that through a microscope, you'd see it constantly vibrating at a frequency. Very similar to if I had a piece of string on my finger with a pebble and I was to spin it. And I was to spin it so fast that I couldn't get my other finger through, the illusion would be that I'm hitting solid. And that's kind of what's going on when we see the physical world around us. At the subatomic level, it's constantly in motion. Now, if we take that to the human body is constantly vibrating and has its own base or resonant frequency. And if we raise that frequency, we tend to feel lighter, we tend to radiate more, and if we have a low frequency, we tend to feel more gravitational, we tend to feel heavier. And it's been proven over many different experiments, many different observations that things like dis-ease or disease cannot live at a high frequency. Disease shows up when the body is operating at a low frequency. And so how do you shift that? Well, the first thing and one of the mistakes I see that people are trying to raise their frequency is they're trying to do something. You have to understand you weren't born at a low frequency. So when it comes to raising your own, it's really about what to do less of rather than what to do more of. Your natural home state, your homeostasis, your home frequency is naturally high. You're not born to be unhealthy. If you do the right things, then health is a natural byproduct of that. You don't go to buy a pound of unhealthiness. You just do the things that don't create health. Unhealthy and disease is simply the absence of health. Just like you can't turn on darkness. Darkness is simply the absence of light. So if we understand that to raise our frequency, we have to take away things that are blocking that frequency rather than run out trying to find things that raise it. So one of the keys to that, second step, I would say, apart from knowing that less is more, is to understand the power of relaxation. No matter where you go in nature, stress is a killer. Up until recently, they were still debating whether stress had a direct correlation to things like cancer. Now we know without a shadow of a doubt, every single disease, science can put some level of psychosomatic counterpart to it based upon the level of stress that we have. If a patient goes to a doctor and he is stressed, the symptoms are predictable. Whether it's hypertension, whether it's muscle cramps, whether it's anxiety, a person or a patient that is less stressed has less symptoms. Very, very simple. So stress is a killer, and stress lowers our frequency to a very gravitational level. So learning how to relax, meditation, It's a huge key to that. Knowing how to meditate, and this isn't a video on how to do that. I've got videos on how to meditate and why meditation is so critical. Go watch that, right? But if you can understand that, if you start to meditate on a regular basis, you will feel less stressed. There isn't a scientific study that would counter that at any level. And again, regardless of what the studies say, remember, everything that science has validated existed before science validated it. When it comes to consciousness, most of traditional science tries to invalidate the very consciousness that gave birth to the science that it's now challenging. So understand that the ultimate rule here, guys, is how do we feel? Not what somebody else says, whether it's me or anyone else, not what sounds good in a book, or on a 3-step this to that. How do you feel? And you know, when you walk in and your partner is in a low frequency mood, you know before they open their mouth something is wrong. Case closed. So relaxation and meditation is a key to lowering stress, and therefore once you lower stress, your naturally high frequency starts to restore. So again, don't run around trying to wear special pendants and do certain exercises. Less is more. You can do that at certain points, but not unless you've cleared the groundwork. So less is more. Relaxation meditation is a key to being able to help your own natural frequency arise. That's our key. The third step is getting into high frequency states. Now, we all know the low frequency states, depression, anxiety, guilt, shame, anger, upset. You could go on and on. High frequency states are very different. The ultimate high frequency state is love. But unfortunately, most people don't have a reference for what real love or unconditional love is, which is a sense of being able to support somebody else's highest good regardless of anything that comes back or fits our pictures. So gratitude is probably the fastest way to get into a high energy state. And if you measure the frequency, which we can in science, of love and gratitude, they give off a very different energetic signature than the other traditional emotions around happiness, or positivity. Love and gratitude are very different. So being grateful for something is a fast way to raise your frequency. Probably the easiest and cheapest way you could ever do it. Being enthusiastic about something raises your frequency. Ladies, listen to me. You want to save money on makeup? One of my mentors, George Zalicki, once said that enthusiasm is the least expensive but most beneficial cosmetic in the world. It transforms people, and he's absolutely right. So if you start to understand that enthusiasm lights you up, it makes you a higher frequency. Get enthusiastic about something. Go follow your passion. Do something you enjoy. When was the last time you wrote down what your number one hobby was and went and did something that was in alignment with that? Rather than say, oh no, I've got to wait until the summer holidays or work another 40 hours a week and then maybe I'll get round to it. I lived in Dubai for many years and I loved to skydive. And it was funny, I was looking back. I actually skydived more when I wasn't in Dubai than when I was in Dubai living on the Palm, where there's one of the world's best drop zones. I'm like, it's crazy. Why didn't I do that? So if you understand that gratitude is a shortcut for you, make a list of what you're grateful for. Oh, what have I got to be grateful for? Well, here's a question you can answer. What are 2 things that happened yesterday that you can be grateful for? And if you sit with that, you'll probably be able to answer it. What's wrong is always available, but so is what's right. If I offered you $1 million to write 10 things about your life that suck, I guarantee you'll be able to lower your frequency very quickly. If I offered you the same $1 million to write 10 things in your life that you're so blessed and grateful for, you'd win $1 million and feel better about it. Both are available. So, gratitude is a great state. Now, that also means you've got things like joy, forgiveness, fantastic, emotion, a fantastic aspect of being able to let go of some of the low frequency states that we hang on to through guilt, resentment, anger. Forgiveness itself is such a powerful tool to be able to raise our frequency. So, it's accessing those states. Again, it affects the human body at a scientific level. Let's take an example. Firewalking. Anyone here been crazy enough to walk with bare skin over 2,000-degree hot coals? Well, firewalking is something that I've not only done, but I've also taught and facilitated for many, many years. And I've personally put thousands and thousands of people across the coals, vast majority for the first time, from 6-year-old kids to 80-year-old cancer patients. And it's not about walking on fire. Let's take that off the agenda for a second. It's simply a metaphor for what's possible. So if you walk across fire and you get to the end and you look behind and think, oh my goodness, look what I just did and I didn't believe I could, it'll allow you to ask the question, what else am I not doing in my life just because I didn't believe I could? That's the real reason for a firewalk. It's not to validate the physics of what I'm talking about, but while we're talking about it, let me share it with you. Now, if you are into the magic of firewalking at that level, then this is a bit of a spoiler, so you may want to turn off at this point or pause the tape. But people say, oh, firewalking, that's not real. Well, that's because you don't have a reference for it. If you understand that firewalking is basic physics and resonance, the human body operates at a base frequency, anywhere between the sort of mid-60s to the high 70s in terms of hertz. If you go stand near a waterfall operates at a higher level of frequency, so you stand near a waterfall and you feel energized. Again, you have to believe this, just test it. People with cancer operates at a very low frequency, somewhere in the 30s, depending on the nature and the stage of the cancer. So people with cancer have very low energy, very low frequency. Now, the state that you are in, that you can put yourself in, alters the frequency that you operate at. For example, you walk in and your partner's at a low frequency, they don't need to open their mouth before you know something's wrong. So if you get into a high energy, a high frequency gratitude, love, joy state, you're going to vibrate at a higher level. Now, if you're in an angry, upset, depressed state, you're going to vibrate at a lower level. Now, depending on what state that you can put yourself in, if the frequency going through your feet is a higher frequency than that of the fire, you will not burn for a short period of time. That's the science of firewalking. Now again, take all the mysticism out of it, mind over matter. Well, yes, the mind creates matter. We know that in quantum physics. It's called collapsing the waveform. So if you understand that to raise your frequency, you need to get yourself out of the way, stop trying to chase it, allow it to come up. Relax, learn to meditate, lower the importance on half of your problems so that you can deal with them from a more empowered place. And then start consciously putting yourself in a better, higher frequency by connecting to things like gratitude or remembering something that, a time where you were joyful. You will naturally start to raise your frequency. When you do that, health benefits, how you feel benefits, the people around you are impacted by that. Just like when you see somebody coming in the room and you know that what we call a mood hoover, they suck the energy out of people because they're low frequency. So learning how to raise your frequency with just doing those 3 simple things can transform everything. Don't overcomplicate it. Go enjoy a high frequency day and see if you can use that to put a smile on somebody else's face, and we can raise the frequency one person at a time to make the world a little bit better place to live. Hey, Peter Sage here. I'm back just to say I hope you enjoyed what you saw on that video, and remember that knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing. So it's about applying what you learn, not just being passively entertained by what you learn. If you like more of what I do, please subscribe to my channel so I can share more of my wisdom and insights with you to make a difference. Please also go to my website at petersage.com. I have a ton of free content for a lot of people there to add more value, and I hope to see you on another video soon.